there are a little over 8 million people living in New York City. So that means that 1 in every 38 people living in the United States call the place home. How many of you guys have lived in New York City before? Or how many of you guys have been in New York City before? Okay, so a good amount of you. And I know Nadia is not here today, but she told me that she had lived in New York City before. And so that just goes to show like how many people have actually lived there in their lifetimes. So the reason I bring this up is because 2 years ago I was given the privilege to go on a trip to New York City with our very own Pewaukee High School choirs. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about it and how it was one of those memorable experiences that I've ever had. And so today as I progress through my speech, I'm going to be talking about 2 main things that I did on the trip. And one of them is going to be the plays that I saw on Broadway with my classmates. And then the cruise that I went on that went along Manhattan Island. So to first kick things off, I'm going to be talking about the plays on Broadway that I saw. And the first play on Broadway that I saw is Wicked. I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with the play Wicked. Okay, so a good amount of you. So going into the trip, I did not think that seeing plays was going to be one of my most memorable experiences. It actually caught me really off guard, like going home, how much I looked back and thought like how much I loved the plays. And so the reason this happened was because when we first got in there, it was just a lot of fun sitting down next to all my friends and like seeing everyone be in awe of the like sheer talent of these actors, and, like how good they were at singing, how good they were at acting. And after the play was over, it left me in awe, and I was so confused at like how good these people actually were. And it's weird that I use the word confused, but it makes sense because I would never expect people to be this talented and like perform as well as they did. So that's what made this one of the most memorable experiences that I've ever had. And then in addition to seeing the play Wicked, I also saw the play Phantom of the Opera. And this play was really interesting to me because I didn't really like it at first because I thought it was super confusing and it really didn't make sense to me at all. And the reason I didn't like it was because the storyline was super hard to grasp onto. And so it was really confusing for me at the beginning of the play, and I almost wanted to give up and not follow like what was going on anymore. But then I sat there and told myself, I was like, I'm in New York City, like I need to do my best to watch these guys really perform the play. And it was so crazy how at the end of the play, everything just seemed to connect, and it was almost like I got like chills in my entire body, and it was super weird. I've never experienced something like that before. And everything in the play just connected, and it was one of the craziest things that I've ever like seen. And like to see this after Wicked, I've never seen plays before, and I mean to see these 2 plays is my first and second play. It was just one of the craziest experiences that I've ever had. And it brought me to realize many things about this play that like I wasn't thinking about before. For example, the main actor in Phantom of the Opera actually doesn't talk in any of his lines. He sings all of his lines. And that was something that I noticed after the play was over. And it was something that all of our classmates were freaking out about because we were there because of choir. And so it was just really a lot of fun. And so in addition to seeing the plays, that was only a little bit of the fun that I participated in New York. The second thing that I did, or the second most memorable thing that I did in New York was the cruise that I participated in along Manhattan Island. So this is an actual picture of the cruise ship that I went on. I mean, it looks super fancy, but it was so much fun. So it's 2 stories, and this story right here has a dance floor on it, and then it also has room for like a dinner to be set up, and then the bottom floor, it's just like another area that you can walk down the stairs and like dance. And so the reason that this was so fun is because we started off, and it was just a regular like dinner. But it was super weird at first because we were there with 3 other high school choirs, and if you guys are familiar with meeting other high school students, it's super weird at first because we're all like, who are you guys? But so it was really weird at first, but after we sat down at these tables with the students from different schools, after a while, we got to know them, and it became a lot more relaxed, and we felt like we could express ourselves in the way that we wanted to express ourselves. And so after we ate a buffet style dinner that included like tacos, fruits, and all these kinds of desserts, the dance started, which also was really awkward at first because we were all kind of like walking out on the dance floor, like not really wanting to dance. And then as the music got going, like I said, everything became more relaxed, and we became more familiar with the other students that we were with, and it was so much fun because there were people on the main dance floor and there were people on the upper deck just like all screaming and getting really into the music, and it was so much fun. And then another thing about this cruise was if you got tired of dancing, you could come out onto this deck right here on the front of the boat. And as we were going along Manhattan Island, you could look over all the buildings that are on one side of the boat. And I'm serious, there were buildings as far as you could see. the only thing that I could compare it to at the moment was, it was like seeing 10 Milwaukees all smashed together on one like shoreline. And you could literally see buildings until like the fog cleared them out and you couldn't see anymore. And then if you were to turn around, you would see Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. So it was just really one of the most beautiful experiences that I've ever had. And so in conclusion, I got to end things off this trip with a nice relaxing plane ride home to end the experience of a lifetime. So going back over the main points, the reason that New York was so memorable to me was because of the plays that I saw and because of the cruise that I participated in along Manhattan Island. And I hope you all get the chance to either visit New York again or for the first time, because it was truly one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And the city that never sleeps, I'm sure that you guys will enjoy the city that never sleeps as much as I did.